Now, the Uganda weather is unpredictable, like the dollar rate. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to rain. You don't know what the rain is going to come with. Now, welcome to this special edition or special production, if you'd like to call it. And before I start, I'd like to say that we should have more of this. In this special edition, we are talking about something that could affect you and something that you may not understand in whole entirety. We are talking about lightning. What is lightning? Where does lightning come from? How do we experience lightning? If lightning strikes someone close to you, what do you do? These are some of the questions that you've been asking yourself and probably haven't found answers yet. In this special edition, allow me to introduce two very professional gentlemen. One is Richard Shemereirwe. He's the Vice President of ACONET, and ACONET is Africa's Center for Lightning and Electromagnetic Network. Plus also a gentleman here is called Dr. Peter Ndemire, and he's the CEO of UNCST, and that is the Uganda National Council for Science and Technology. Gentlemen, welcome to this special edition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
Now, before you get into details, you're probably scientists, researchers, and you've handled this lightning issue for quite a while now. And I'm very excited that we have people from science and technology coming to ACONET and sort of having a combination, sort of a collaboration to help Ugandans and probably the world at large understand the issue of lightning. What is lightning? If someone came to you, for example, Richard, and said, what is lightning? How would you define it?
Lightning is a form of severe weather. That could be the simplest definition. The other scientific definition is that it is an electrical discharge from the atmosphere produced during thunderstorms. Yeah. It's a product of static electricity buildup within the clouds during the process of rain formation. Yeah. Okay,
I'd like to get into a discussion about why do we have some places having lightning and others don't have. But let me come to you, Doctor.
Yes, please.
Why is UNCST involved with ACONET, to sort of bring this lightning conversation on board?
Thank you. We are engaged with the ACONET in line with our institutional mandate. We are advisors to government and other stakeholders like ACONET and the general public on all the issues of science and technology policies. We also support research, technology development, and commercialization. And above all, especially in relation to ACONET, we support technology transfer, appropriate technology transfer from abroad. We also support transfer of technology locally generated, but also technology transfer from abroad. Now, on the issue of lightning, it's a phenomenon which requires management, requires appropriate technologies to manage the lightning, to minimize damage, loss of life, loss of property, and other adversarial effects from atmospheric phenomena. So when we met, when we were approached by ACONET, and they talked about protecting against lightning, and also the misinformation and misunderstandings about this phenomena, we picked interest, especially in regard to supporting ACONET to access partners out there, specialists, researchers who were interested in helping Africa to manage this phenomenon. And since developed the technology transfer, we decided to support that effort. That's how we came in.
Now, ACONET has been in this discussion for quite a while. What is that one thing that you feel that Ugandans, or probably the public, has failed to understand about lightning?
In 2011, that's when a major incident happened which inspired all of us to do something. Sometime in May of 2011, 18 children were struck dead in an instant. One strike took away the lives of 18 young people. I don't remember the details, but I think 15 of them were girls and 3 of them were boys. There was also a teacher who died, the 19th person. And there was also destruction to the classroom. What happened after that incident was as stressing as the incident itself, because the various institutions that are responsible for addressing that hazard did not have an answer. For example, our Young Meteorological Authority, the only response they could give was to explain to the public the science of lightning and what causes lightning. But if you put yourself in the shoes of the parents who lost their children, that kind of response, specifying the science and causes of lightning, may not be helpful at all, because here is a disaster that has struck an entire nation, and therefore the population desires to hear about what to do to prevent such, not the science. The science should be given, but it cannot be the answer that the population is waiting for. So that's what inspired us to do something. That's how ACONET was born. 2 months after that, there was an advertisement of an international symposium on lightning. It was in Kathmandu, Nepal. I, for one, thought that this was unique because I was looking at a big gap here in Uganda. Nobody is telling the public on what to do to prevent such disasters. But there seem to be other people there out in the world who had answers to what we were looking at. So that year I represented Uganda in the International Symposium on Lightning. And I was really excited to find people who
share the same,
who seem to have answers. And really there are so many answers.
Let me come to you, Doctor.
Yes, please.
Is there some truth to the fact that lightning is actually witchcraft in entirety?
Yeah. Well, these myths have been there, but for us from the scientific side of things, science and technology side of things, that's absolutely not correct. I think you have even heard about rainmakers.
Yes.
That there are people out there who can help to make rain or actually even stop it. And lightning actually takes place during rain events. So these are the myths, they are there, but through science and technology we need to demystify lightning and do the right thing through application of appropriate science and technology.
Richard, in reference to the story that you gave, the reason why we have ACONET and Christians now, there's sort of an argument. There are people who believe that lightning strikes a group of people. And then there are those people who say, no, when lightning strikes, it takes just one person.
Lightning, if you understand the way it is formed and the way it happens, then you would appreciate why there are so many myths and misinformation. Naturally, it's a very random thing. It is formed randomly and it is discharged randomly. So it has no order. Remember, this is natural electricity. And if you can compare it with man-made electricity, the one which is made at Jinja, for example, there is a lot of work that is done to make sure that the electricity from Jinja is orderly, is safe. So you have the turbines which are rolled by water, and then the wires from there, then it is first stabilized, and then it is transmitted along the main grid. So that electricity is somehow ordered by the infrastructure put there by man. If you compare that to the natural lightning produced in the atmosphere when clouds are moving, the formation is very random. And when it is discharged, it is also discharged in a random manner. There are no wires to bring that electricity down. And so lightning can be likened as a ball of fire thrown at you. It's very, very random. The other scientific way of understanding it is that electricity naturally flows through a medium. So the medium of flow of electricity from Jinja are the copper wires. From the plant itself, then from the plant along the highway on the main grid, and then from the main grid, before it enters the house, it is also stabilized. But that wire poses some resistance. So the resistance it offers is like friction to our movement. So lightning from the clouds also meets some resistance within the air. If you look at some pictures of lightning, you'll find that they are like these fingers. So because this is a random discharge, you have different current formations, each one of them looking for a path of least resistance.
So am I right then to say that lightning strikes taller people than shorter people?
No, you are not right.
I thought I was going to survive it.
You are not right.
All right, we're still having this conversation about lightning. I'm learning a lot. I hope that as you sit at home, you're also learning a lot about this, because you never know when lightning strikes in this weather. You never know, what to expect out of lightning. So let's take a short break, and when we get back, I'd like to, have a conversation with this gentleman about how to protect yourself from lightning. What kind of lightning measures should you be putting in place for your family, for your school, for your factory, for whatever place where people are or property is, and you like to keep them safe? After the short break.